Hi, my name is Lisette Colon, and I am Bridgeport Public Schools HR recruiter, and we are here to tell you why you should join us in Bridgeport.
I want a teacher who trusts me.
I want a teacher who's great and kind.
I want a teacher that has high expectations.
I want a teacher who's respectful and helpful.
I want a teacher who doesn't give up on me.
I want a teacher who's resilient.
I want a teacher who listens to me.
I want a teacher who is responsive to students' reactions.
I want a teacher who is resourceful.
I want a teacher who is compassionate.
I want a teacher who is fearless and will always look after her students.
I want a teacher that is welcoming.
I want a teacher who's reliable and like a parent.
I want a teacher who's joyful.
I want a teacher who's nice to all her students.
I want a teacher who makes learning more interesting.
I want a teacher who is educational. I want a teacher who encourages me.
I want a teacher who goes above and beyond.
I want a teacher that's giving.
I want a teacher who motivates me.
I want a teacher who's loyal.
I want a teacher that is generous.
I want a teacher who loves me.
I want a teacher who demands the best from us.
I want a teacher who is trustworthy.
I want a teacher who inspires me.
I want a teacher that smiles every day.
I want a teacher who will make me laugh.
I want a teacher who understands me.
I want a teacher who wants me to be successful.
I want a teacher who motivates me.
I want a teacher who cares about us.
I want a teacher who inspires me.
I want a teacher who is organized.
I want a teacher who is dedicated.
This is why we teach in Bridgeport.
So please come join us.
because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high, bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
I'm going to let you fly.
Hello and welcome to Bridgeport Now. We're a live TV show coming to you from downtown Bridgeport. This is Tuesday, November 4th. I hope everybody got out to vote today because the polls close at 8 o'clock. But if you're still in line, you can still vote. Hi to my pal Mackenzie. Go to bed. You've got school tomorrow. So today we're going to be talking about, in the first part of the show, how to get a job in the school system in the city of Bridgeport. And I'm very happy today to have two people who are going to walk us through the steps of how to become both a substitute teacher in the city of Bridgeport and a teacher in the city of Bridgeport. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And so we have, Lisette, tell us exactly what your title is with the city of Bridgeport. Board of Education, sorry.
Okay. Human Resources Recruiter.
Okay.
First, new and only one in the district, and having a great time with this job, just using a lot of creativity and networking and meeting great people out there, and being a part of bringing new blood is exciting.
Okay.
Finding them.
So specifically, what are you in charge of looking for? What positions are you filling?
Certified teachers, particularly right now we're looking for special education, math, science, computer literacy. Those are our shortage areas.
And about how many positions do you have to fill?
23.
23? Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
23. I mean, there are some that are social studies, English. Art, yes. We're still trying to fill Kathy's former position.
Okay. So, and how many schools do you cover?
All of them.
All of them?
38 schools in Bridgeport.
38 schools in Bridgeport.
38, yeah.
Fantastic. So tell me, what are the steps for becoming a teacher in Bridgeport?
Minimum requirement is bachelor's degree. You do have to be Connecticut certified. And it's funny because with these areas, in shortage areas, you need at least 12 credits or more in that particular subject area.
So this is to be a full-time position.
Full-time
teacher.
position,
Correct.
correct.
So if you're going to be a social studies teacher, you need a bachelor's degree with 12 hours.
No, for social studies, it's not considered shortage area. So at a minimum of bachelor's, master's is preferred, and Connecticut certified. As long as you're Connecticut certified, you're covered.
So you get your bachelor's degree, and then you take the test to be certified as a teacher. Is that correct?
You can start Praxis 1, the Praxis 1 and 2.
Okay. So can you be in the process of being certified, or you have to be certified before you can be hired?
You have to be certified. The only way that the state allows us to get away with giving you a job for a year while you're getting your certification is within those areas, those subject areas that are short.
And the shortage areas are?
Math, science, special education, and computer literacy.
Okay. All right. And we've got some other things to cover here. So tell me, you worked in other school districts, correct?
No, this has been the only one.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. So in your research, networking, finding out how to place teachers, what makes Bridgeport different from other school districts?
Oh my God, Bridgeport. Well, what is there not to love about Bridgeport? It's a big city full of diversity, the culture, artsy. You're within, not far from New York and not far from Boston, and there's so much. We're surrounded by universities, great universities, the beaches right along the coast. We have great transportation. What don't we have in Bridgeport?
Oh, so this is what you would tell teachers who are considering working here.
Absolutely.
Excellent,
yeah.
Excellent. And so, well, those are all good things. You're good at selling Bridgeport, and it's all true good things. So about what's the how long are job positions open in Bridgeport before they're filled in the teaching, in the school system?
Usually we leave them open until they're filled. But for the most part, for those positions, usually the elementary teaching positions get filled very quickly. So those are posted for like 5 days.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's the middle school and the high schools that are tough.
Yeah,
those are tough.
When you have children, you know that.
Yes.
When you've raised your own children and gone through those years, you know they're the tough areas.
Absolutely.
So it's very easy to hire someone to teach the elementary schools in Bridgeport. Those are pretty high demand jobs.
That's hotcakes. Yeah.
And you probably don't know this, but I volunteer in a kindergarten class in Bridgeport. 3 days a week, 2 days a week. I can tell you how to drive there, but I always forget the name of the school.
Teacher's aid.
It's on Maple and Poplar.
Maple was good? No.
You'll think of it, and then you can tell me what it is.
There's Bryant?
That's it, Bryant. Bryant, in a kindergarten class. And 28 kids, and the teacher is fantastic. They all can read by the time school's out. And I just love going in there. They're just so adorable. And I think she had 14 kids that English was not their first language, and you still find a way to communicate and have fun with them. So I can see why those positions are filled so quickly.
We actually have 74 different languages in our district.
In Bridge, 74.
Yep, within our schools.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Isn't that great?
That is fantastic. So tell me a couple of things about your philosophy for education.
You know, I go after where the passion, the commitment is, what you bring to the table. If you're the kind of individual that you go above and beyond just showing up to a classroom and go through the script or the curriculum with the children, getting involved. I think of Kathy when I talk about this. You know, she's
we'll have her on in a minute. Yeah,
and it's that teacher who's not looking at the clock, who is able to see that there's a child who needs extra help, who's willing to stay after school or offer extra help. So, that's how I see it.
So, do you have more people applying for jobs than you have positions usually, or does it just depend on in elementary versus science versus high school versus?
I have a lot of candidates that apply but are not certified.
Okay.
And that's where the challenge comes in. So then I find myself walking them through the steps, telling them what they need to do, sort of coaching them, because a lot of people don't know believe it or not.
Right.
They don't know what and Connecticut is very difficult. They've raised the bar. I mean, it's just, I've had individuals that are like, yes, just come here, and I walk into the process, next thing they're calling, oh, I'm in Florida and I'm working. It's like, so yeah.
So let's just say that you found someone, you want to hire them, and they say to you, so what can I expect from the Bridgeport schools? As a teacher teaching here, how do you prepare them for what to expect?
I'm not going to lie. There's a little bit of everything. There are challenges, but there also there is job satisfaction. These kids are just amazing.
No, they are.
I mean,
yeah.
I went for Read Aloud Day last week, and they're just you have to have a love and a commitment, and you will be rewarded in many ways. Yeah. Trust me.
Okay, well, this is good to know. This is good to know. Now, Kyle works with you in placing substitute teachers.
Yes.
All right. So tell me a little bit about your company.
So we are Source for Teachers. We're contracted in by the Bridgeport School District. We handle all substitute teachers and long-term substitutes. So we want to raise their fill rates. As of last year, they had a 47% fill rate. We're trying to raise it up into the 90s.
So I'm sorry, you had a 40% what rate?
47% fill rate. So only about 1 in 2 classes had a substitute in place.
I see. Okay.
So now we're trying to have a substitute in place for every single class, every single day, which is a big task to fill.
Yeah, well, I would imagine. Do you have a lot of first thing in the mornings, I needed a substitute for today?
Some of the shortages we have is going to be the people who call out. They wake up in the morning, they don't feel well,
right,
and they call out sick. Those are the teachers that we really need to have substitutes for. We have plenty of subs who fill positions in advance, but as of the morning, having substitutes in place is a difficult task, but that's why we have a pool of subs, of dedicated people who really want to be there and work with the kids day in, day out.
Well, this is good. So do they have many needs for long-term subs in Bridgeport?
So the substitute program in Bridgeport, there's a couple different aspects to it. There's the day-to-day sub, there's the sub who has, say, school on the side, they're doing their master's program, and they want to work 1 or 2 days a week. There's a substitute who works long-term, they're going to work a month or 3 months or the entire school year in place of someone who's out sick.
Maternity leave and things like that.
And there's different things where the school district will guarantee you your job within 2 years as long as you come back.
Right.
So there's need for long-term subs from 1 month up to a full school year, up to multiple school years.
Okay.
And a lot of the subs that we have in place get hired on at the end of the school year by the school district, by Lisette specifically, to fill positions that are then empty at the end of the year.
So we always she takes need your new employees.
Subs. She does.
I love it.
We bring them in and she hires
well,
them. So it's a great process in place.
You seem kind of happy about that. So tell me a little bit about how this relationship came about with Source for Teachers.
So yeah, again, we're contracted in. Our focus is staffing. We are based out of New Jersey. We have over 200 school districts between New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Connecticut. We're brand new to Connecticut. This is our first school district here out of 200. We're looking to grow. We're looking to expand. But as of right now, we're in Bridgeport, and we're just trying to do the absolute best job we can.
So in Connecticut, what does someone need to what qualifications does someone have to be a substitute teacher?
So there's a minimum of a bachelor's degree.
Right, bachelor's degree.
So bachelor's degree in any focus.
Okay.
So if you have any kind of bachelor's, 4-year degree will take you. And from there, there's a stringent interview process. I bring you in, I make sure you're someone that we want to have on board with us.
Right.
And then from there, we will move you into training. We train each of our substitutes, and then we'll put you into the classroom. We want to make sure that you're right for the classroom, and then we'll train you, and then we'll put you in.
Wow. So how long does that process take? Just say you vetted me and you decided I'd be a good substitute teacher. So how long from the time you say, yes, I think we'll be able to place you, until I'm ready to be placed in the school?
Well, our schedule is relatively flexible. You know, we have a large sub pool, and we need a lot more subs. We're very short-handed right now. So it really comes down to how quickly the process can be put in place by the candidate. So if you were coming in, you would need to do certain, background checks, do your W-4s, make sure that we can pay you.
Right.
And these are really things that you do in your own time.
Right.
We don't force you into a certain schedule.
But as far as the training that you provide,
we have a training every week.
So is it live training, online, both?
It's in
virtual?
City Hall in Bridgeport. So if you can come in and you can provide the documentation and you can attend a training, we can have you hired within a week and have you teaching by the week after.
So how many hours is the training?
Training ranges, it's typically about 3 hours to 5 hours. It depends on the class size. It depends on the people in the class.
Whether you're high school, whether you're elementary school,
well,
whether
we teach K through 12. We want to make sure that you're familiar with our systems because our system in place, it's very bespoke. You can choose what hours you want to work, what schools you want to work with. There's a lot that goes into even understanding our system and also how to teach. So we have veteran teachers who are retired who come in, and a lot of time they will add to the class.
Right.
So that's what, really depends on the hours. A lot of times we have new grads, brand new out of college, have no experience. We take people with no experience. It's absolutely fine.
Right.
Who will come in and learn how to be a teacher. So again, it depends on the class size. It depends who's there. And we really try to get people working as quickly as possible.
Now, do you have a daily rate that you pay people, or is it per hour? Or
so typically we pay a flat rate of $90 per day.
$90 a day.
So if you work from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., it's flat rate $90. If you work, if you take an assignment that's more than 20 days, it goes from 90 to 120 per day, and then 30 plus is 180 per day as a substitute teacher.
Wow! So a long-term substitute teacher, your pay
You're
does
making good
add
money.
up. You're making good money.
And you don't have to be certified. Just a bachelor's degree, and we'll bring you on board.
That's pretty great. So, with your company, you're in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I were a qualified substitute teacher, worked for you in Connecticut, and I moved to Pennsylvania, then I could stay with your company and be placed in Pennsylvania?
Unfortunately, each state has its own guidelines.
Uh-huh.
So Connecticut has its own state certification. Pennsylvania has its own state certification. You have to be certified in that state according to what the guidelines are. I know that in New Jersey, you have to have a teacher's cert to be a substitute. Connecticut, you don't have to have a teacher's cert to be a substitute.
Okay, all right.
So if you're going to a different state, you have to look at the guidelines available to you. That being said, if you're in our system, you'll have availability to all districts open to us. Just make sure you meet the criteria.
And so you would help them with the criteria?
Absolutely. We'll help them with whatever they need.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So do you know before you were working, had a contract with the city, how did the city fill substitutes? Do you know?
There was a sub finder. There was like a calling type of system, and it wasn't effective.
So people would just sign up on a list, and then they'd just start calling you to see if you could.
Typically, a teacher would call out, and then they would go down their preferred subs. So a teacher themselves, like, hey, I can't make it. I'm going to call my top 5 subs, and then the position would go unfilled. With our system, we have a similar thing in place where a teacher can still have a preference, but after a certain time limit, that position becomes open to our entire sub pool, and that's why we get the increased sub fill
so that
rate.
makes sense. So a teacher probably knows what kind of a person they need to handle their class while they're gone.
Right.
And so they would have a list of people they preferred to have come in and step in.
Correct.
And before, the teachers would call them themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And now you just step in and take care of that for them. They tell you
these
these are my preferred.
What the existing system was. You know, the teachers like to have someone they know take over their class.
Yeah.
But in the event that there is no one for that class, that's when we step in and offer our services up. Either way, the employee who goes into that will be a source for teacher's employee.
Okay.
But it does give the teacher the flexibility of knowing that if they can't get one of their preferred subs, they do have the coverage available to them.
So do you have a feedback system so that if the teacher thought that the substitute wasn't a good fit, that you could, or if they thought they were a really good fit, you could kind of craft where you were going to put them?
The system in place is very dynamic. The teacher can update in real time the subs they prefer. They have a preferred list. So even if they call out sick, they don't have to call the subs themselves. It'll go out to them ahead of time online, in real time, and also to our robocalling system.
Okay.
So they have that preferred list in place, and they can update it anytime they like. And then after that time limit is up, it'll go out to the rest of the substitute pool in the city.
Who knew it was so hard to find a teacher?
I mean, finding a good teacher is very difficult.
Well, a good teacher, exactly. Exactly. Go ahead.
Sorry,
no, go.
We do have 2 programs that sort of help out for those that are going in, or thinking of going into the education business or the field. And we have something that's called Transition to Teaching, TTT program, and it's run by Ann Langley. She's a retired teacher. She works out of the Human Resources Department, and she's the facilitator. And you can, the way it works is that while you're, sort of like an internship almost, You get paid for the classes that you're taking to get your doctorates or your masters.
Okay.
And but you're not getting paid like a regular salary. However, when you're done completing the program, you are guaranteed a 3-year contract with Bridgeport Public Schools. A teaching contract. The other one is an internship program. So, and we have an agreement or a contract with Sacred Heart, Fairfield University, and UB. So if a student who attends that university, they're again they're in the field of education, they can do their internship with us, and that one is also, your courses are paid, so which is nice, and you get a stipend.
That is very nice.
So for those individuals that are going to those universities or are thinking of going to those universities, that's something to look into.
And so how do they find out
They should
about
call
the
the
program?
office, Human Resources, and ask for either Mary Beth Lang or Ann Langley. 2 different programs. One is an intern program, and the other one is transition to teaching.
Oh, this is pretty great. So this is a new position.
For me, yes.
For you. A new one for the city of Bridgeport.
Yes.
Which is, it sounds like it's a pretty great coordinated effort there.
I love it. I'm having fun with it.
Oh, it's great. What's the turnover rate for teachers in Bridgeport? Is there kind of a...
Good question. That's a very good question. Do you know? Let's see. Do you have an idea?
The turnover rate for teachers, not so much. I know that a lot of teachers go on maternity leave and different personal problems, but in terms of actually leaving the positions, the teachers who come to Bridgeport tend to be dedicated to the demographic in place.
Well, no, it's true. It's true. It takes a certain kind of teacher to want to come into an urban setting with its rewards and challenges both, and they're usually pretty dedicated and want to make a difference in a pretty powerful way.
It's really wonderful working with teachers.
And usually what I've been able to see is that once they've been with us for 3 years, they're ours. They're going to stay. They're not going to go anywhere.
Well, the teacher I work with is a personal friend from the neighborhood, and I think she's been at the school 25 years, at least 25 years teaching.
Right.
Kindergarten, first grade, second, and third. She's taught them all. And usually, or I shouldn't say usually, but for me, the most difficult child, of course, is the one you love the most. And this was just a very smart little boy who was very indulged and just full of energy and just it was just. You just loved him. You never knew whether he was just going to sit there and do everything brilliantly or if he was going to challenge you every step of the way. And it was always fun and exciting to be around him. But towards the end, because he was older, 6 and going into first grade, and he was becoming more and more, it appeared to me to be just cranky about everything. And I went to the graduation, and he said to me, "My dad told me when I'm 18 he's going to give me money to buy an engagement ring so I can marry the teacher." So I'm not going to say her name on air.
That's really
but so it was just, oh my gosh, I thought you didn't like anybody anymore, and you find out it was that whole, I don't want to have to leave my teacher, so I'm going to be really act out. But he was just, when I'm 18 I get to marry my teacher. So it was just that'd make you stay forever and teach.
I tell you.
That was. So let's bring your teacher of the day here. We're going to have you walk up here in our big Hollywood studio here. Francisco, do you have her mic on? And I'm going to let you interview this lady. Talk to us. Just just walk right back here and stand right back here.
So this is Kathy Silver.
This is Kathy Silver. So you were a teacher at?
I'm at Bassick High School.
At Bassick High School, and you have just been promoted to?
The interim 9th grade principal.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And how long have you been teaching at Bassick?
This is my 11th year at Bassick.
Yeah.
It's my 25th year in Bridgeport, though.
Wow.
So I'm a lifer.
You're a lifer. Oh my gosh. So
she's a go-getter.
And what grades have you taught? Do you teach?
I'm a visual arts teacher, so I'm certified pre-K through 12, and I have taught in many schools in Bridgeport up to my career at Bassick. Bassick's my longest stay. I would spend maybe 5 or 6 years in a school,
right,
and then choose to move on, to reinvent myself, keep myself fresh, and new experiences. So I've taught as young as 3 years old at Skane School. I've done the pre-K to 4, pre-K to 6, middle school. I've taught every grade level.
This is fantastic. So what made you decide to accept the promotion to become the principal?
It was time.
About 5 years ago, Bassick High School was labeled a failing school, and we became a compact school. And it was during that time that we were going through transformation that they really empowered teacher leaders to step up and take more leadership roles, to help to change the school, make the school better. And it was at that time I had had my own 92 for years, my administrative certificate, and stepped up to the plate and took on climate and culture and discipline within the school. And it was during that time that I had good friends of mine, peers that I really respect, who were in administration, that pulled me aside and said, Kathy, it's time. It's time. It's time for you to leave the classroom. It's time for you to move on.
So will you be teaching at all, or is it all administration now?
I'm solely administration right now. It's an unusual transition because I spent the first 6 weeks of this year teaching, and this is my beginning of my 4th week that I've been on the job as an administrator.
Well, I remember in the olden days when I was in school, the principals usually taught 1 or 2 classes a semester, and it was always scary to have to go to the principal as your teacher. It really made you behave yourself a lot.
Well, Bassick, we are in focusing on changing the school again. So we're moving towards smaller learning communities, and the smaller learning community that I'll be overseeing is the art. We've titled it now FAME, the Fine Arts, Media, and Entertainment Academy.
Wow!
So that would be my hope. I would love to be able to teach at least 1 class,
right?
Because then that would keep you connected with the students.
Oh yeah. Yeah, in a positive way.
Yes.
Well, not that you're not as a principal, but in a more hands-on, get to know the students.
I'm not going to lie, I miss it.
Yeah.
The day that I actually found out that I received the promotion, I was here with Lisette filming. We were actually filming here at the studio a video to recruit new teachers to the district. We had about 40 students.
It was great.
From elementary to high school age here filming. So I'm very excited to get that finished, so she can take it with her on the road to recruit new teachers.
Fantastic. A success story in the Bridgeport
and that's
schools.
my philosophy. See, that's
that's why you stay around.
Yeah.
So, did your students help produce the film and work on the film, or they were guests in the film that you were shooting to promote schools?
They were on They were in front of the camera as we are now. They were in the studio helping, assisting with miking. And now we're on the back end of editing.
Very nice, very nice. So do you have the facilities at the high school for them to be able to do those kind of things?
The only high school in Bridgeport that has a video program.
Yes. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Now this Bassick still has the magnet school part of the school too, correct? It's a business school, correct?
Yes, as I said, we've gone through a number of changes, and for this year, because they started the year down an administrator, they separated the school by grade level. But we're in the process of planning now to move into academies for next year.
That's very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So is there anything else that I haven't covered or that you want to let our people know?
How to apply to be a substitute.
Yes. Yes.
So if you're interested in being a substitute,
Francisco, can you put this up on the screen as he tells us how to contact them to apply to be a substitute?
It's very straightforward. Go to sourceforteachers.com. It's source, the number 4 teachers. And if you know anybody who's looking for work, who has a bachelor's degree, we would love to see their application come in. It comes directly to me, and I will reach out and contact them.
Okay, let's see if we're getting that up there, because Because I know that you're not an English language learner. You actually speak original English. But how long have you been in America? You're from England
I've lived here
originally?
about 10 years.
10 years. Yeah.
I love it here. So
I love the accent.
I know. We're all suckers for the accent.
Yeah.
Do chicks dig it. Where did you go to college? Did you?
I went to university in York, in Toronto.
Yes.
So I've lived in a few different countries over the years.
Isn't that exciting?
It is.
I'm jealous.
It is. But you never an American school.
I've never attended a U.S. school, but I work with them closely now, so
I know.
I'm
That's
making up for
very
lost time.
funny. That's very funny. So you see them from the outside in. That's probably not a horrible thing to have a little bit of a detachment from actually having attended or being in the trenches.
I think so, and it helps me have a positive impact.
I think so. I think you're correct. All right, so did we get that address up there, how people can apply? Source and then number 4.
So can we add Bridgeport's too?
Absolutely.
It's absolutely perfect.
All right. And Francisco, let's get one more up on the screen, please. We'll give you just a second so that people, if they need to, would like to pursue any of the programs you've mentioned. You're thinking about going back to school to get your degree. There's some programs at the local colleges that can help.
Permanent, for certified or non-certified positions. It would be www.applitrack.com.
What? Say that again.
APPLITRACK.
Thank you.
.com. And it's diagonal Bridgeport, diagonal online, APP, diagonal. It brings you right there.
Oh my gosh.
To the application.
Forward.
Can you find this through the City of Bridgeport website or the Bridgeport Board of Education website also?
Bridgeport Board of Education website, which is bridgeportedu.com. That's easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I'm trying to get the City of Bridgeport to link up so that they can, because they're always advertising, so it'll be a free ad.
I know, it would be very great.
So
it would be very
they're working
great.
on it. I know they're working on it.
I know.
Yeah. Anything that's free.
Oh, I know. It's so hard. So you've done this video, and you're going to go on the road to recruit teachers. So, what kind of places do you go outside of Connecticut, or do you go in Connecticut?
Next week, I will be traveling to Puerto Rico, and I will be stationed at the Catholic University of Puerto Rico on the West Coast. And they have different campuses throughout the island, and everyone is invited. It's open to the public, and that's huge. It's a great opportunity, and from there I plan on opening other avenues and networking, and it's what I've been doing. And actually, Thursday we're going Kyle and I we're going to be West Hartford, St. Joseph's University.
Great school.
Looking forward to going to Howard. We do have
another great school.
January 9th, which is a Friday, we're going to be at Sacred Heart University.
We love Sacred Heart grads.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have some open houses to kind of see what it's like.
Career fairs. Correct.
Now, do you get to go to Puerto Rico?
I do not.
Oh, and where in Puerto Rico? Which town?
That one's going to be in Mayagüez, the big city of Mayagüez. West Coast.
I lived in Puerto Rico for a winter.
Did you?
I did. I was a flight attendant, and I was based in Isla Verde in San Juan.
Nice.
Sí.
Did you ever get to Rincon?
Oh yes. And the Phosphorus Sea and El Yunque, and yeah, we went all around the island.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a good fit. Yes. The Spanish speaking, because even though there are how many languages in Bridgeport schools?
74.
74. Just briefly, one of my most fun stories was I sat down to work with this kindergarten table, and I was holding up little toys for them to draw a picture of, and they all started with the letter C. And they were supposed to draw a picture of the toy I held up and write the letter C. And one spoke Kurdish, one spoke Spanish, one spoke Portuguese, one spoke an Indian dialect, and the other an Asian dialect. And me. And so I'm holding up the cat, and they're all looking at me, and they know what it is, but they can't translate it in English. So I could see that the boy who spoke Spanish was kind of getting it, and I said, El gato, and he went, oh, cat. And they all went, oh, cat. So it was funny that in this class of 14 different languages, they all seemed to understand Spanish for some reason, or at least El gato is
universal language.
So it kind of makes sense that it might be a very good fit. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
That is fun. And then March 28th, which is a Saturday, we're going to be at University of Bridgeport. And I'm in conversations now with for University. So looking forward to that.
Fantastic.
So we're just getting busier and busier.
That's great, though. That's such a great resource of the community to be able to use all of these. That's so great. Well, congratulations. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
I hope you enjoyed being had.
I did.
Oh, good. And so please, if you're thinking about being a substitute teacher or a full-time teacher, we've given you the information of how to be able to do that in Bridgeport. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. So thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. We'll be back in about a minute and a half.